is the succession problem. You see, life is good. I got mine, you got yours. Nobody asks any questions. My kids are going to school at LSE. Maybe I got another kid at Dartmouth. It's a big price tag. It's 10 times my nominal salary, but I'm not feeling the pinch. I got a Maybach for rides around the neighborhood to show everybody that I'm to be feared and to be taken seriously. My wife has a jewel on every finger, and my mistress has 2 jewels on every finger. My kids have birthday parties in Dubai, where whoever it is, some doggy dog is the performer. Right? Yeah. And so I'm living large. But you know, how can I be sure that tomorrow I'm going to be living large too? What's the guarantee that all my loyalty, all the dirty work I'm doing for this regime is going to be recognized tomorrow and the day after tomorrow? I mean, what would happen, for example, if the leader got sick and a new person came in and it was the person that, you know, I didn't treat that well before, or whatever the case might be? The succession ambiguity of authoritarian regimes is crippling every single day. Not just when Mubarak is 82 and has cancer, and nobody takes Gamal, his son, seriously. Then it's clear as day, right, that you got no future with this regime. If a guy's 82 and is sick, and the son is not going to handle the situation, you have a problem. That's clear. But when they're 55, they can still get cancer. When they're 55, there can be a coup, or the price of oil could go down, or all sorts of things can happen. So even when an authoritarian regime looks like it's not in a succession crisis, it's in a permanent succession crisis. And there's never a secure future in an authoritarian regime. And now we expect a third authoritarian transition. Nobody was shot. There were no massive purges, right? There was no violent redistribution of property. That's how they usually have successions in authoritarian regimes. It was pretty smooth. Behind the scenes, they cut a deal. The elite got together and they cut a deal and they gave portfolios and things out and they balanced things. And they had an authoritarian succession that was peaceful and stable. Mechanisms that are not transparent, that we don't fully understand, that many people who claim to understand don't know either, even if they're on the inside, because you don't know any more on the inside of these regimes than you do on the outside. That's another point for a different day's lecture. Anyway, so my point is just that authoritarian regimes have these inherent problems. These inherent problems are something they can't really do much about. They can try, right? But the information degrades, the governance apparatus decays, the ambiguity over the succession is a problem psychologically and more than psychologically. It leads people to take action sometimes. When they're afraid of what the succession might be, they themselves might try their own succession. And you get a coup or a putsch inside the regime, sometimes because of the ambiguity over the succession issue. Okay, in conclusion. So nobody should feel sorry for authoritarian regimes. I just want to make that clear. You should not, this is not an attempt to elicit sympathy on their behalf because they have it hard. But I do hope I've made the point that authoritarian regimes are not just the absence of democracy. They're not default. It's not easy to do. And it's not easy to maintain because it has this inherent tendency to undermine itself when it's successful. Now, the usual problems that we think authoritarian regimes have may not be the real problems. You know, for example, disloyalty of intellectuals. Exactly. Disloyalty of intellectuals. The number of intellectuals who are not loyal inside authoritarian regimes is so small, so small. My favorite is the case study of the Italian fascist regime and how many professors resigned their position at university when Mussolini came to power. Anybody know the answer to this? Google it. It's one of the numbers in the algorithm. You know the algorithm, 0 or 1? So, things that we normally see as threatening to authoritarian regimes may not be the biggest problems that they have. The biggest problems that authoritarian regimes have are mostly themselves, because this is a hard thing to do, and when you do it well, things get worse. Almost every authoritarian regime decays. It can improve for a while and perform better, but it gets to a point where it decays. There's very little steady state authoritarianism.